Good evening, everyone. This is Anthony, Wall Street Trader. It's 5:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday, September 13th, 2021. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and the video is intended for educational purposes only. Click the subscribe and the bell if you want to be updated on these videos when they come out. Click the thumbs up and share the video if you want people to know the greatness of Quant. It's a great crypto project, and it is something that every major enterprise can adopt and use for connectivity out to multiple platforms and multiple blockchains. Intraday updates are on the twitter.com link if you want to be up to date on my intraday tweets about major market movements or any positions I'm getting into. Let's move forward. Okay, Quant US dollar. So let's take a look at this Quant US dollar tether coin pair, which is pretty much Quant US dollar. So we had the flag. We broke out so nicely. We got up to 430 and change. Really beautifully executed in terms of what patterns are supposed to be doing. And we certainly got into a great range. In fact, what has happened is, and I drew this orange line just for everyone to understand what's going on here. We have always kind of had a resistance area here. And once we broke that resistance, there was this once called resistance became and flipped to becoming support. Support is like the floor that you walk on. You're not going to go through it. You're going to pretty much, when you put your foot down, you're going to be held. And that's exactly what support is supposed to do. So that's exactly what we're seeing here. We started hitting our head on the ceiling, and then that ceiling became support. So that's exactly what's gone on here. So if we drill into this detail, clearly we have been respecting. These little wick actions are nothing. They're just quick lapses in market action. But effectively, we definitely have a decent line of support here. We bounced off of it just earlier this morning, bounced back up. So let's see how this holds. Now let's go over to the Quant Bitcoin pair. And we're starting to see a very similar thing here as well. And they are somewhat correlated to some degree. I consider Quant Bitcoin to be the inner strength of Quant itself. But let's not belabor that. Let's just take a look at the price action here. We still have a continual line of support here. Now, what I'd like to see us start doing is starting to head back up. It's not to say we will, but I think the odds are pretty high from my experience looking at stuff like this. I think the Quant Bitcoin pair looks pretty healthy here, so long as we don't start going the other way. Anyway, let's go over to Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin, as I mentioned on the last video back on September 10th when I last did the Quant video, we were talking about some sideways chop, and that's exactly what we're doing here. So if I zoom out of this chart and we look back historically, this is May. This is when Bitcoin took a complete dump. And where did we land? We started gyrating between 41,000 and 30,000 or 29,000 and change. But we always kind of stayed within the range until we broke out of it. This is a mini-me version, which is this September, this sideways action we're witnessing now is very reminiscent. It's like a mini-me of what happened back in May. So we have to keep our eye on this. This looks really, I think it's great. Bitcoin consolidation is always a good thing. Let it go sideways for a little bit. Let's get some proper buyers back into this. And remember, our dive on the last one had really to do with a bunch of deleveraging and a bunch of failed implementation of Bitcoin in El Salvador. But all that stuff is bugs and bad data and bad coding or whatever it is on the software. That stuff gets fixed. So I'm not worried about Bitcoin. And of course, Bitcoin dominance, which should be directly related to everybody on this video who's listening. This has a lot to do with the altcoin strength. As Bitcoin dominance goes down, that means altcoin is gaining strength against Bitcoin. So if you believe in Bitcoin, then you'd believe in the altcoin market a lot more. And of course, Quant is sitting in the thick of the great